By remote, this is VOA News. I'm Michael Brown. U.S. Senator Kamala Harris is poised to accept the Democratic Party's vice presidential nomination on Wednesday night at the Democratic National Convention. Harris will be the first black woman and first Asian American woman named to a major party presidential ticket. Black support could decide whether Harris and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden win in November. Delegates to the convention nominated Biden as the party's candidate on the second night of the virtual convention Tuesday because of the coronavirus pandemic. Jill Biden, Biden's wife, made a personal pitch to voters to support her husband, saying the U.S. needs leadership worthy of the country. Jill Biden also said her husband and Kamala Harris will work as hard as the voters do every day to make this United States better. Joe Biden said Joe Biden can bring the country together and move it forward. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell, a prominent Republican, said he endorsed Biden because of the values they share. He said Biden will restore the country's moral authority. Former U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry attacked the foreign policies of President Trump in a speech before the virtual Democratic National Convention, saying Trump doesn't know how to defend the troops and is more interested in defending himself. Former President Jimmy Carter also delivered remarks Tuesday calling on the nation to opt for a Biden presidency. Republicans plan to hold a similar series of events next week to nominate Donald Trump to run for a second presidential term. After making speeches in several battleground states this week, Mr. Trump expected next week to make his acceptance speech from the White House. For more on the presidential race, visit our website, voanews.com. By a remote, this is VOA News. Mali former President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita announced his immediate resignation late Tuesday night on state TV, hours after mutinous soldiers fired shots into the air outside his home before being detained, along with the Prime Minister. 75-year-old Keita said he wished to avoid any bloodshed in his resignation speech. Keita and Prime Minister Bouba Sisa were reportedly taken to a military camp. The West African Economic Bloc, ECOWAS, sealed its members' states' borders with Mali after Keita and Sisa's arrest and suspended all financial transactions between Mali and its 14 other members, and is now removing Mali from its decision-making bodies. Keita's resignation comes after several months of regular demonstrations calling for him to step down from power 3 years before his final term was due to end. U.S. Postmaster General Louis Dejoy promising that mailed-in ballots in the November 3rd presidential election will be delivered on time. Dejoy suspended all cost-cutting measures at the agency until after the election. The Democrats claim would possibly have kept millions of votes from being sent to election officials to be counted. Dejoy, a wealthy campaign donor to President Trump, appointed to the head U.S. Postal Office, said the cost-cutting measures he has undertaken at the deficit-ridden agency will be put on hold until after the election to, in his words, avoid even the appearance of any impact on election mail. President Trump has claimed without evidence that massive mailed ballot schemes will lead to widespread fraud and a rigged election against him. Firefighters in Brazil say strong winds, hot, dry weather making it difficult there to battle thousands of fires burning in the Pantanal, the world's largest wetland. Brazil's National Institute of Forest-Based Research said it spotted more than 3,000 fires in the first 2 weeks of August, 5 times as many as the same period last year. Experts blame the fires in part to higher than average temperatures and below average rainfall since mid-July. And Israel launched an airstrike attack on Hamas targets in the Gaza Strip on Tuesday, saying it was in retaliation for rocket targets at the Israeli territory by Palestinian militants. Via remote, I'm Michael Brown, VOA News.